Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to The Other Page. My name is Haywood Fennell Sr., and today is a wonderful day, October the 11th, and we are going to talk about some very interesting people, a very interesting time. We're going to talk about the Harlem Renaissance, this era, and the descendants of the Harlem Renaissance. You know, the Harlem Renaissance is one of the most culturally significant times in American history. It came about after the Great Migration or the Black Migration, when people of color living in the South and other places were just sick and tired of not having a life and opportunities, and they decided to leave where they were after the Emancipation Proclamation that occurred in 1865, 1866, and they began to move seemingly at the same time, all at the same time. And it was a social phenomenon in that there was a lot of struggle for social justice and equality and the things that they had to go through, the fighting and the struggle, and the noble struggle, if you mind. And then we reached New York City, Harlem to be exact. It wasn't always all black or mostly black. There was a lot of Caucasians living there. And they began to move out of the community, and they had vacant buildings, vacant apartments. And this man, black man, decided that he would go to the landlords, who were predominantly white, and tell them, I have a way of filling your apartments. And that is how the black migrators began to fill the apartments that set the stage for the Harlem Renaissance. Today, my guest is a descendant of the Harlem Renaissance. She is very talented. She is well known, well respected, and she is a poet, a gifted poet, and also a principal in the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program. I want to welcome Crystal Dotson.
Oh.
Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Hi, Brother Haywood.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for that introduction.
Oh, no.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
I could go on and talk about you, Crystal.
Well,
But what we want to do is talk about what you've been doing here lately.
well, as you know all too well, we just finished the Harlem Renaissance with a gospel flavor and the Worcester State University in Fuller Theater.
Yes.
Where there was a sold-out crowd, and you did the accolades with everything that, you know, from the assistant vice president to all of those that are in the cast and the crew, and, you know, you're like that great gem that's in the midst of trying to just make all the gems glow. So.
Now I want to talk about you. I don't want to talk about me. You know,
Well,
and I'm honored that you are here today because
Thank you.
You've been doing some other things, and I just want to give our viewing audience a little profile on you. You know, you a graduate and you have a master's in business administration. Is that right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
That was something that I obtained way back in the day. And since that time, I've become an independent entrepreneur, if you will.
All right.
I network, I collaborate with a lot of the small businesses that are in and around, you know, our neighborhoods in Boston area. I'm looking to expand as me being a poet and somebody that's a grassroots sort of person, with my logo being the black like crystal, and empowerment, just as how you are with your book and everything that you've already accomplished. So the vision is there, and I hope you know, they say teamwork makes the dream work, so
That's right.
we'll see how well that would take us.
So tell us about your work in the field doing vending. You do you're a
I
vendor.
do vending, yeah.
Right.
Any occasion that might present itself, and I can bring in my goods and maybe even network. And
What kind of goods?
My goods would be oils, pretty much. That's my primary base. I do a lot of fragrant oils, a lot of lotions. I do jewelry too as well. I do accessories. Anything that might complement.
Do you do like special events? Or would you consider doing them?
Most definitely. Anything.
How would they contact you?
Well, I do have a email, and I also am quite frequent on social media.
Okay.
So you can easily tap into me, Crystal Dotson,
Right.
And that would be either Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. And also I do have email addresses. Synergy is one of my
We
primary.
have you up now on the screen.
Oh, great,
I'm
great.
looking at you now. Don't you move. I'm telling you, you look
Yeah.
great. We have
Thank
your
you.
information, but it's very important. I think that when you come on our program, that we share what you're doing
Thank
and
you.
how you're doing it. This is The Other Page. My name is Haywood Fennell Sr., and our guest today is Crystal Dotson. She is a principal in the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company, and we're really just happy to have her here. Tell me a little bit about your writing.
Wow, my writing. That's been going on since forever. And it feels like I'm just birthing all of this writing that's been going on with me. So it's a writing that comes from my soul, my spirit. It's a gift, I guess. I would think that was given to me, God-given talent that He wants me to put words to paper, and I do that. And whatever else He may entail for me to do in terms of the communication that we need, essentially.
Do you have any books yet?
Well, that's something that should be on the horizon really soon. Books and CDs and things to that effect.
Okay.
That if there's any artists out there that would want to tap in, looking for people that could possibly do beats with music and different things to that effect to bring that word more with the sound of a rhythm, as well as even dance at some point. I have an aspiration to put the word to dance too, if ever, I meet with a dance troupe that would.
Well, I think
There's a
that
lot in there.
in an earlier conversation, you were saying that you were fitting into the company and that there are a lot of possibilities to fulfill some of the goals that you want to fulfill.
Yes.
And I'll say it on television, to you that that's what we're all about, helping you go through to get to, So we're looking forward. Do you have something that you want to share with us today?
Yeah, for my poetry readings, sure, I do.
You want to set it up and tell us a little bit of what you're going to say, the first one anyway?
Okay, let's see, there's a few of them going on in my head right now. I would say break every chain. This one pertains to, the young folks that, even people in general who might have, affinity to want to hurt and do things. So that's what this is about.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Dotson.
Yes, also known as Black Like Crystal.
Black like Crystal, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Ain't coming on the mic being polite. It ain't that kind of flow. You see, the law's gone wild, a child killing a child, blood on the streets, saluting makeshift shrines with your peeps. Our heart's been muted, a legacy torn apart. We bow our heads giving comfort and sorrow for a tomorrow a brother man and a sister friend never got. Break every chain, the battle's still going strong. Generations of survival, gang banging, drive-bys, ancestral denial. Hold up, this can't be the new norm. Facebook fronting can't be running from the truth. Killing off the greatness, the future Dr. MLKs, the warrior soldiers of our youth. Wearing your big boy pants, you the target they're gunning down. God created you in His image, not a corpse, laying you to rest. Your role is protecting family. Show your love, survival of the fittest. That's the way to get down. Sisters seeking a righteousness, searching for the truth, fighting every battle like a queen without her throne. Birthing the babies, needing her warrior king soldier to stand together as one. Break these chains, we moan. Our faith in God sustains us. His truth sets us free. Spirit-filled truth decrees us. It's the power in the blood flowing through our veins. Break every chain that's maimed us, degraded us to be ashamed. Instead, we choose to rise, sustain the richness of our culture. We the generations to break every chain that broke us down, that's driving us insane. Thank you.
Wow, that was like profound.
Thank you.
My goodness gracious. I know we got some more coming, but Let me just ask you a question about the play.
Okay.
The Harlem Renaissance we visited with a gospel flavor, talking about some of the people that were a part of the Harlem Renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that production?
Wow. I thought that production was quite profound. I mean, to be able to reenact something that actually truly took place in our lifetime says a lot about who we are as a people and what it is that you don't want our culture to lose sight of. You know, we've escalated from that, but we're still a really long way to go. So in that note, in knowing that you recreate what it is, our sorrows, our victories, you know, the way that they denounced us and made us feel like we were nobody and we rose to whatever greatness that we were supposed to rise to. So to me, I give big kudos
I'm here
to that production.
to say that, thank you,
You're
that
welcome.
I believe that, you know, the show is titled The Harlem Renaissance and the Descendants.
Right?
And so I consider you a descendant
Yes, I am.
of the Harlem Renaissance. You know, it was a time when we couldn't mount the stage. And a lot of people would like to consider us slaves, but we were never slaves. We were just captured.
Yeah.
You know, and we hid our gifts and talents. And once we broke some of the chains, the Emancipation Proclamation, the Great Migration, the facing the challenges that we face, that they face, and even today we still face challenges as a people. And they continue to try to outwit us with these laws and everything, but we have been endowed, if you will, with a spirit to continue.
Yes.
And so your work, your speaking, your spoken word, your written word, I believe is directly connected to the Harlem Renaissance.
I agree with that. I cannot not, because I know throughout whatever time that we've had, I'm a legacy from whatever that legacy is.
Yes.
And if I'm connected to what that Renaissance was, where I was like the character, for instance, Zora, she was a poet, an author, and everything that they tried to dismiss her from, she's like, no, you can't do that to me or to any of us. And that's where we are. We claimed it. No, you cannot have it. It belongs to us.
Right, and so in that regard, I find that while we are community-based, we have been blessed with a cast that includes some wonderful people.
Yes, indeed.
That really go beyond just,
Yeah, go the extra mile.
yeah, they go that extra mile, you know, and I'd like to just acknowledge the work of my good friend and protege, Tyree S. Brown.
Oh, yes. Give him kudos.
Yeah.
I call him Mr. Dapper Man.
No, Mr.
The Dapper Man with a plan. If you're listening, Tyree.
And what about the overall cast, the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company? How are they? How do we mix?
It's a very loving environment. We close with a circle of love and prayer, and in all of that, we know that we're being guided. So, excuse me. It's a very inspiring way to connect.
Yes.
We're connecting. That feeling of camaraderie,
And purpose.
in purpose, makes it more so.
Right. I'm so happy that we had an early conversation before you went, before you came back to do this production.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to kind of get you solidified in your thoughts, because I know you have a lot of things and opportunities, and you really have touched me.
Thank
that
you.
you would choose to, work with us to educate, empower through entertainment. Because people do not realize the importance of the Harlem Renaissance, nor of our history of struggle.
Yeah.
We can look at the cast that we have now, and they can actually leave and do presentations because they've been educated about the significance and the importance of the Harlem Renaissance.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right, you know, and if we look at the naming of the program after Oscar Micheaux, who was a filmmaker and was not happy with the portrayal of black people by W.E. Griffin when he made the movie that slandered our people called Birth of a Nation. So the movies that Oscar Micheaux created, they gave him a hard time, but he did around 14 or 15 films. And in those films, he depicted black people as honest, hardworking, ambitious.
Yes,
you
yes.
know, and
as we were, as we are.
Right. And so we have, as a company, decided that we would continue to build this image of positive.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to getting the support from our community so that we can go into the schools.
Yes. Yes, the young people need it really bad, a lot.
Right.
Yes,
you know.
they do.
This is the other page. My name is Haywood Fennell. My guest today is a lady that has done a lot in our community. She's a business lady and she's also an artist, and her name is Crystal Dotson.
Thank you.
And we're so happy that she's here today.
Happy to be here.
Now, you know, I like to write.
Yes, I know. I've got a few of your books,
Right.
your
And
earlier books.
And I just want to read something,
Yes.
if I could.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to read something here for my
Okay.
audience.
Okay.
And it's called A Prayer for the Descendants of the Harlem Renaissance. Almighty God, we turn our hopes to you, for you are all things good. We call upon you as our ancestors did when they were brought to this hemisphere in chains as a captured people. Though many times we felt deserted, but you turned your face and heard our cries. From the cotton fields and the tobacco fields, we came out hoping and praying that freedom would be ours. The talents that you loaned us once hidden began to manifest. We would write, sing, dance, act, create, but not without struggle. We know that when we struggle together with you in our midst, that we will achieve, for we believe. You have taken us and placed our talents for others to emulate, because our talents do not belong to us but to you. The talents were loaned to build a better world for all. We accept the challenges laid down long ago. We should not give up nor give in. Ours is a mission of honor to bring to the world that which will bring about greater understanding that we, too, are your children. Once captured but never slaves, for we are the descendants of the Harlem Renaissance.
All right.
And so,
Yes, indeed.
you know, one of the things that I want to do is to make sure that people like yourself are positioned to move forward with your work.
Okay.
And that means not just writing, but being involved in plays, writing plays, doing presentations, teaching.
Yes, the vision. Yes.
Those that need to be taught.
Bring it, full force.
To build that block, that
Yes.
foundation, to re-strengthen out of forgetfulness.
Yes.
People have forgot our greatness. Some of them think that the foot of their butt is a part of their anatomy. And so we have to work on that. And the people from the Harlem Renaissance that we are talking about today, there's so many of them in our midst. And one of them is Barbara Barrows Murray.
Yes.
She's an Emmy Award winner, and she was one of the founders of the Say Brother concept at WGBH. She's definitely a descendant of the Harlem Renaissance, and she's also a student of Elmer Lewis. You know, she's involved in the arts. She's around. She's there for us if we need to talk to her.
Yes.
You know, I can think of Sophia Hayes Caldwell of the jazz stages.
Okay.
Coming up. There's so many people. Diama Battle.
Okay.
Valerie Stevens. You know, Nikki Giovanni.
Yes, yes.
Maya Angelou.
Oh, yes. These are
These
all
are
the greats.
descendants
Yeah, these are the
of
greats.
the Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah.
Crystal Dotson.
Yeah, well, we're standing on the shoulders of a lot.
We are standing on the shoulders of a lot, and we're not wavering in our determination to bring to our people the education of empowerment that
Thank
they
you.
need.
Yes, indeed. It's
Because if you
critical.
don't know anything about your history, then not only are you a mystery, you're not going anyplace.
Well, sorry, yeah, I'm laughing in terms of knowing that, yeah.
Right, right.
That's very true.
Right.
And, they say each one teach one. So we should not stop trying to teach each other, especially
so
our young
important.
people, yeah.
I mean, they omit our history, but we must understand that nobody's coming to save us.
That's true, we have to save ourselves.
We must save ourselves. And knowing who we are is certainly education,
It helps.
which a weapon for change.
Yeah.
So again, this is the other page. My name is Haywood Fennell Sr., and my guest again is Crystal Dotson, a community activist as well as a business person, an actress, a poet, a creative mind that we are so happy to be involved with.
Thank you.
There are other people in the community that we want to talk about, some of our supporters in the
Yes.
community,
Yes,
people
indeed.
that come out, people that I talk to.
Right.
I want to say thank you to Mrs. Wilma Brown,
Okay.
who comes to our performances and sometimes bring friends. So we want to talk about Miss Wilma Brown. We want to also talk about Jake Abdicolic from the Nubian Notion of Past.
Okay.
We want to call out a whole lot of names. John Cruz, Cruz Construction.
Yes.
Frederica Williams, M. Williams of Whittier Street Health Center. These are the people, Dr. Motley at UMass Boston, former chancellor there. These are some of the people that have helped us,
Yes. Some of the
encouraged
greats,
us.
yeah.
We don't go out and not be grateful. Of course, we can't call all the names. We'd be here all day, all night.
I know, right?
Talking about the people. But we also want to thank the people at Vaughn's, Miss Marilyn
Oh, yes.
Rowell,
Yes.
and her son
Yes.
for being so encouraging to us.
Yes.
We are really grateful for that. And certainly we can't forget Sister Monica Anderson Spencer
Yes.
and her husband, Will Spencer, and all of our cast who come together. And under the direction of this lady, we are able to
She's
get
a
on
true
the stage
catalyst.
and
Yes.
bring it to them. I mean,
Yes.
Karen Harris, she really did a great job.
Yeah, she's very creative in her way.
She did a great job.
Yes.
We're gonna take a little break, folks, but we're gonna be back to the other page shortly. Again, we are honored. Again, thank you so much, Tech, for showing those images of our guest, Crystal Dotson. Is she beautiful? I think
you.
so too.
Thank you.
I think she is. She is in our cast.
Thank you.
Looking good, huh?
Yeah, totally.
I'm telling you, like when people come and see our performances, they are quite impressed. And they tell me things, and I'm sure they tell you things.
Yeah, you do get the feedback, yeah.
People don't leave our shows. They stay.
Yeah.
Because I'm by the door, I'm watching everything.
Right.
You're watching the reaction to the lines when Miss O'Bannon plays Mother Africa.
Oh, that's a powerful scene. She's powerful in that scene.
And that scene where we do the slave in the cotton field.
That's another powerful scene.
But one of the scenes that I think is very nice is the one where you have finally found a publisher.
Oh, okay, yeah. Zora's, she's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, I'm not going anywhere.
Right?
I'm going to stay right here.
And write my books.
Yes.
And sell my books.
It's amazing how in America, they didn't want us to be talented. But we didn't care what they didn't want. We knew what we wanted and we knew what we needed.
It's true, it was already inside of us.
That is the story of the Harlem Renaissance. It is a determination, it's a mindset. It is a determination not to be validated by a process that does not favor you.
Thank you.
Simply because you have a different skin color.
That's the most absurd thing. I don't know who invented that, but that was the worst invention ever.
Yes.
Racism and anything that's connected to
Right.
the fact that my hue is different from yours.
Right. And they try to pull it off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, in the Emancipation Proclamation, they had two of them. One was 1865 and the other one was 1866.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to go anywhere. They didn't know where to go. Until it got so bad that they decided that they were going to migrate north.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to fast forward this, and we're going to say, when will our migration come, not the physical, but the mental? That's what we have to connect to. The history of a decision making, not to look at the problem and analyze the problem and say, it's too big, there's nothing we can do. That's called analyst paralysis. You become paralyzed because you think you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, you're locked in, and you don't have to.
What is more overwhelming than what our ancestors went through, Crystal?
That's just unbelievable. And I give kudos to my ancestors every day, knowing that, you know what? You were denied like the simplest you were just denied your basic right as a human being. To read, to write, to
Participate.
Come on, to
Right.
take away your own reading and not so you don't know how to understand what something is said on paper.
It's important that, this show, if nothing else, we convey the message that before hip hop, there was bebop. Mm-hmm. And bebop and jazz was spelled J-A-S-S. And today it's spelled J-A-Z-Z.
Right.
And we need to look at the seeds that were planted, not in times of desperation, but in times of determination. I'm going to say that again. Not in times where the seeds planted in desperation, they were planted in the times of determination.
Yes. Well, that goes to say with the Underground Railroad and the way she made sure that, you know what?
Right.
We got our own secret code, and this is what we'll use, and this is how we'll make it happen.
Move towards freedom. Moving. So look, do you have something else that you would like to share with our
Oh,
audience?
you keep getting me all okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Something that I wrote recently, and it's entitled In My Ghetto Language.
In my ghetto language, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. In my ghetto language, kicking it off in this piece, player haters, perpetrators got some shady max. The N word is the pen word. They grooving on whack. What y'all do with the love and the unity and having each other's back? In my ghetto language, pain is in my everyday. Family is broke down. Love is fading away. Surrendering my wretchedness, erasing all doubts. Hiding from the truth, be like punking out. In my ghetto language, when the money's low and you gotta pay the rent, you still need to stay flossy and fly. I ain't never been no side chick, no skank. No, it don't go down like that. I'm a ride rolling in, be that queen sister soldier, rolling out, be that ride or die. In my ghetto language, where the jazz players play and the poets live, these masses coming at us all raunchy and raw, dumping on us, duping us out, like the Grim Reaper, coming down hard, like we the outlaws. In my ghetto language, there's the dawning of a new day. You rise and grind. Give God thanks for strength. You drop the mic and slay. Thank you. Peace.
Let me ask you a question. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Who are some of the writers, poets, male or female, that you were impressed by growing up in as you wrote?
Actually, writing didn't come to me till later, like not at a really teenager age. It came more like in my early 20s. But I grew up with the feeling of Maya Angelou. She was my first shero. I've got the Ayan Levanzans now. I've got the Nico Giovannis. I've got those folks that came from an era of when, you know, say it loud, we black and we proud, and, you know, things to that effect. So they were the people that were instrumental in me knowing what poetry felt like. And after I guess became into my own way of being, it manifests on its own.
So,
but those were the folks that kind of, influenced.
So let me ask you another question. You know, if you're living in the time of the Harlem Renaissance, and there were people like Zora or Augusta Savage and Dorothy West, who was from this area.
Oh, okay.
You know, and she passed. She lived to be 98. You know, and Gwendolyn Brooks.
Yes.
How do you think you would have blended with them?
Wow, I think I would have blended very well because I'm part of the struggle. So for me to know, like we'd have that depiction of the fictional character, Miss Evelyn.
Yeah.
You know, you have a place where you go to Miss Evelyn's Delight, where you gather, and you know all the greats are in there, you know, doing what they do, and so I would feel like that would be, you know, I would get in where I fit in, and that would be where I fit in with the whole aspect of it.
A lot of times people look at poets and they don't really understand the nature of the poet is that they're warm human beings and they want to know you and they want to know what you do and how you do it. And then they go back to whoever they, you know, and they write about what they saw in you and you say, is that me? Stuff like that, right? And you know, you write that up and everything. And so I was just thinking about when you see Tyree play Langston Hughes, what do you see when you see him? How do you feel?
He does that role very well.
Yeah.
He's got that noble spirit about knowing that, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm a black man in this country and this America, and you're not going to stop me from being this intellectual that I am.
Right.
And plus the fact that I'm a strong-willed human being. He plays that role very well.
I like him when he does Mother to Son.
Okay.
Life for me ain't been no crystal stairs.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Democracy.
Oh, yes.
But Langston was very, very prolific with his writing. I recently learned that he wrote Black Nativity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, we know about this Simple and Simon, you know, that set of writings that he did, but Langston has a lot of great work.
Yeah, he was a very talented man.
The sad part about it is like when you did Zora in the play, you said that you're going to get paid, and
Like
you
the
weren't
white
going to have
writers.
that like the white writers because they would take our stuff and claim it for themselves,
They were wicked. Some people were very wicked.
and they never paid them. And they kept writing because they knew that that was what God had loaned them. So that's something that people have to understand. A lot of people think that you just go out and you write, and no. You have to understand the nature of the beast in order to be able to deal with the beast, which in this case I'm talking about writing. Langston Hughes was overwhelmed, but not to the point that he would give up on himself.
No.
We went to Europe. We went to Europe because they didn't want to treat us right in America. That is the story of the Harlem Renaissance, not giving up on yourself.
Well, to going where you know that people can appreciate you for who you are and not for what you look like.
Right? Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
This is more than get in where you fit in.
Yeah.
This is about struggling and believing and achieving and reaching back and pulling somebody up.
It's your birthright.
Right.
We're all born to be something. We all have purpose. And some of us get a chance to find it, what that purpose is. Some of us don't. We don't get that.
Here's a guy that was in the Caribbeans, Claude McKay.
Oh, right, yeah. Another
So,
good poet,
the Harlem Renaissance wasn't just a place for people that were born in America,
Right.
because all the Caribbeans was one time colonial. And so they went through some of the same things that we went through on the America and on the mainland.
Right.
So he wanted to be involved, and he,
Came across the waters. Let's-
if we should die,
yeah.
what a strong statement. Strong statement. And our last, Claude McKay was a young man that it's my understanding he's going to be coming back. Brother Eddie Hassel.
Yes, okay.
And we're going to speak his name.
Yes.
But right now we just want to talk a little bit about the upcoming performance, November the 2nd, which is dedicated to our veterans.
Yes, okay.
Right. And that's going to be at the Blackstone Community Center.
Okay.
And if you want to find out more, you can call 617-966-9594. That's 617-966-9594. And we will be doing the new voices of the Harlem Renaissance, which is what we've been talking about in essence, because we're talking about the Harlem Renaissance, some of the ancestors, and the reflections in between up till today.
Okay.
That includes poetry, spoken word,
All of it, yes.
acting, dancing, singing.
Yes.
Right. It's all good. What we're getting ready to do is to further educate you. The Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company was founded in 1997, organized by a bunch of veterans that were volunteers and are volunteers. We want to thank all the veterans that are involved with our program: Stanley Thompson, Will Spencer, Jimmy Murray, Eleanor Brown, myself, Willie Ellis. All these are veterans. And veterans are an overlooked and underused community resource. And we have come together to try to bring about a sense of self-sustaining ourselves as a company.
Yes.
And, we're just glad that you're here today, Crystal.
Thank you. I'm glad to be
For
here.
taking the time and coming out and sharing some of your
Thank you.
creations and inspiring us and everything. We're looking forward to you moving forward in the
Thank you.
world.
You as well, Brother
As
Haywood.
an
Thank
artist,
you for
we're looking forward
all
to
your
that
talent.
happening. because
Thank you.
Certainly you have paid your dues
I appreciate that.
and
Thank you.
paying them, and we want to be able to help you cash in.
I know that's right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is that good?
That's wonderful. Music to my ears.
Oh, my goodness, boy.
You're a
I'm telling
wonderful brother. I can't say enough of that.
you. Right. We are really blessed. There's so many descendants of the Harlem Renaissance in our community. And one of them, or two of them, that we want to call out again is Lillian O'Neill.
Oh, yes.
You know, she's a poet as well as myself. We want to talk a little bit more about some more, but we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back, and this is The Other Page. My name is Haywood Fennell. Program is brought to you by Tribe. Back again, folks. We just had a few images that we wanted to share with you. And that last image that we shared is by local artist, a descendant of the Harlem Renaissance, Stephen Hamilton, who collaborated with me on the Black Veterans calendar series that will be coming out. Calendar 2020 will be coming out soon. We use that calendar, the Veterans Reading Brigade, to facilitate teaching our young people about the importance of literacy and learning. So we're really grateful to have that image, and we saw four ladies. We saw Minister Deborah Mosley, the first picture, along with Sister Irene O'Bannon. Two other principals in the play that you saw were Sister Monica Anderson and LaToya Robinson, an educator. Both of them are educators, by the way. So, this is really fantastic. It's great to be involved with
Excuse me.
the caliber of people and learning the things that we're learning. For instance, people talk about Haiti, but they don't connect Catherine Dunham, the great dancer who lived in Haiti a very long time and brought it back to the mainland.
Okay.
It's just a wonderful time, the Harlem Renaissance. So the spirit is everywhere. You could go down to Sao Paulo in Brazil and find some of our descendants there.
We're all over.
Doing things,
Everywhere.
doing things. So I can't begin to tell you, folks, about what it means to me to be a descendant of the Harlem Renaissance. And when I say that, I'm talking about having the opportunity to learn about myself and to share that knowledge that will become wisdom once we apply the knowledge. Wisdom does not come if you do not apply the knowledge.
That's true.
That's what Crystal is doing with her poetry. When she writes, she doesn't just leave it there and say, I'll talk about it later. She comes out and she goes out into the community and she participates in cultural events, and I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And people hear her, and people are inspired by her.
Thank you.
Because it's all, Crystal, it's all about the healing.
Yeah, it is. We have to heal. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, there's a lot of scars and layers of stuff that we need to do away with.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, that's
Right.
like a dream killer when you're doubtful.
Right.
Yeah.
People go to the play and they say, going in, well, what is it all about?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, they never leave and they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. The feedback is, I cried, and that's some of what I get when they see whatever. I got so overwhelmed. I'm like, well, that's good. We're doing our job.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Well, again, we want to encourage you.
Thank you.
We're certainly looking forward to you coming back
Oh, okay.
and talking more about your accomplishments since you were here.
Okay.
Because people need to be encouraged.
Yes, we do.
And we can't thank you guys enough for the encouragement that you have shown us since 1997.
Wow.
1997, that puts us last century.
That's okay.
Yeah, we definitely.
Part of the new millennium now.
Yeah, right. And moving
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
So remember, folks, on November the 2nd, and if you want to know more about that, 617-966-9594. Vendors, 617-966-9594. And we're hoping that our guests will be ready to receive you, and you can see some of her items on November 2nd at the Blackstone at 50 West Brookline Street. We open at 1:30. We are never late.
Mm.
We may be early, but we're never late. We are on top of this, and we are happy to be able to be a part of a growing mentality that the Harlem Renaissance was not about just singing songs.
No, it was a struggle.
Yeah,
It was a real struggle.
real struggle.
Yeah.
Right. And we still struggling,
No doubt.
but we know how to struggle better.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're constructive now. We can think for ourselves.
Right.
Before, they did not want us to think for ourselves.
Oh.
You had to yes, master, and Miss
Yeah,
so-and-so,
yeah,
Miss
yeah.
C. No. And what they said, slavery is over.
Know what you tell me? Honey,
Slavery is over.
I believe you. Yeah. Did you enjoy yourself?
I certainly did. This was so fun. Thank you, Brother Haywood, and all cast and crew.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
kudos. Thank you.
Yeah, because you can never get to a good place by yourself.
No, you cannot.
You always got to have some encouragement.
It's true.
And
You can't put a
supporters,
time on it because we don't know how long for when. We don't know what that is.
Well, I got to get you on there again then, because people like to have good conversations,
Yes, we do.
and they like to hear good conversations,
Yes.
especially when we're talking about ourselves.
And something inspiring.
If people tell you that you're a dog for so many times, you may begin to bark. So what we do is rhetorical in that we are always trying to perform
Yes.
and do something. And so we're looking forward to some of our principals being booked into one-woman shows.
Oh.
Yeah, one-man show, two-women shows.
That sounds interesting, yeah.
We got to build that.
Yeah.
We have to decipher this information. We're going to take a break. One more break, folks, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
All right.
It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. Changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Everybody, I'm back with Crystal Dotson, and my name is Haywood Fennell, and let me tell you something, everybody. I just cannot thank our crew and our director, Barbara today, and Elaine, who's here, Tyree, and also Ashley for helping us with today's production. We hope that what you've seen today will enlighten you and excite you to come and see us when we perform in our community, because we are who we say we are. Wouldn't you say?
As it should be done.
Yes. We are really empowered by the message that we bring.
Yes.
We want to thank the people over at Grant Church. We have about 5 people from their church, Grant AME. So it's room for you if you're interested in being a part of the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program Company, founded in 1997. And we're still going. We've been
good
performing every year a full production, and now we have several productions that we can do and we intend to do. So we're going to need some help down there at the Blackstone on Saturdays and Thursday evenings. Come down, fill out an application, do an audition, talk with us. We're not guaranteeing you that you're going to be right up on stage, but you can be there to learn something, because we're all about teaching and reaching, or reaching and teaching. That's what we do. That's what Oscar did when he started, Crystal, with his films. After he saw Birth of a Nation, he said, "What is that?
Yeah, it was insulting.
That's not our people."
Yeah, he was insulted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we just want to continue. making those corrections, if you will, and putting in our history and filling in those gaps of knowledge so you can apply what you've learned and become the wise one with the wisdom. And that's what we do, and only because of the support that we get from you, right, Chris?
Yeah, so we teach the team.
Yeah.
And what they say, teamwork makes the dream work.
I want to also encourage you, Crystal, to, when you come back with the report that I got 50 books printed,
Wow.
Now
claim it.
And then after that, I got 150 books.
I'll
and
claim
you're speaking.
it. CD, book, whatever comes
Right,
first.
right.
I bring it all to me.
We must think of each other, not just ourselves, as we move through life.
It's true.
This is what they did in the Harlem Renaissance. They couldn't perform on the stages. They had a place called Seville Row up in Harlem, up 138th Street, between 7th and 8th Avenue. Now it's Frederick Douglass Boulevard and Adam Clayton Powell. They changed it.
Yeah.
But they would meet up there on Sundays and they would read each other's material.
Okay.
So they wouldn't be rusty because they was always looking for the opportunity. And that's what we're doing, looking for the opportunity. So again, if you're interested in knowing more about the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program, please go to our YouTube page and check us out and subscribe to the Oscar Micheaux Family Theater Program YouTube page, or you can call us at 617-966-9594, or you can go to our webpage, domtc.com. Again, our number, 617-966-9594. And my name is Haywood Fennell. Our guest today is a queen.
Thank you.
A portress.
Thank you,
a
sir.
portress.
Thank you, sir.
An actor, a business lady. Miss Crystal Dawson, thank you so much. And
Thank
God
you for
bless
having
you.
me. Thank
we
you.
really appreciate this.
Bless you.
Folks,
Thank
we're
you.
going to thank you again, and we will see you the next time on the other page.